Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to the third episode of Drive Through with Muna. And today we would be talking about how to identify your customers. And I think this is critical because I know last week we addressed, how to conduct research, right? How to conduct market research, how to identify if your business is going to be successful, based upon, market analysis. And now we will be looking at how to identify your market, right? And how to identify your customers, right? So basically, there's sort of like a rule of thumb, right? You start by demographic analysis, right? Checking if what's the age, what's the sex, what's the type of organization? Is it a 50-man organization? Is it a 100-man organization? Is it a small business? And then, going on to find out, what are their behavioral patterns? What are their income patterns? What sort of things do they do, right? So it depends on what kind of customers you have. If your customers is really businesses, organizations, companies, so you're going to be looking at not only the size of the organization and the type, you're also going to be looking at how they make decisions, how much they earn as a company, what's their revenue looking like, what's their cost looking like, and not only the cost, but the cost pertaining to the sort of service you provide, right? So you might not be the only service provider, but you need to be able to know how much do they spend typically on your sort of service, right? So let's start first by assuming that individuals are your customers. Let's take an example, right? If typically I hear, right, most of the time when I talk to prospective founders, and I ask them, who is your customer? And most times, because maybe they might want to start, regular small business, selling clothes or selling, fashion materials or accessories. Typically, they would say everybody, right? And ideally, not everybody is your customer, right? Not everybody is going to make sure that if they continue to serve, your business, that you're going to be able to run the business sustainably and, profitably. And so I'll take, an example, which is a regular grocery store, right? A grocery store, everybody of every class, kids go there, young adults go there, married couples go there, and even elderlies go there. But if you think about it deeply, you would notice that the people who you would most likely see in a supermarket are young mothers. And why I say this is because, look at it, young mothers are the ones that usually, especially in Nigeria, are the ones that buy things for the home, right? They're the homemakers. So they're the ones that buy food for the family. They're the ones that, buy the household items, the personal care items. They're the ones that buy the snacks and the drinks for the kids that when they go to school. And they're the ones that buy all the sundry items, right? Their fashion, their own personal, kits and things and makeups and things. So you generally then see that they're the ones that tend to spend the most time and spend the most money in the grocery store. And this is why you would now see that most times big grocery stores do have female-friendly content, right? They market towards the women because they realize that without these women, they can't be able to conduct business profitably. And so even in my business, which is a logistics business, I realized that my business is usually, from company data, I saw that my customers are usually female, right? They are internet savvy, right? They're between the ages of 24 to 40. A large majority of them are married, right? And then you see the extra. You can be able to, and most of them sell on Instagram, right? So if I spend time as with my team members doing ads on Google, Twitter ads, and putting up content on, let's say, TikTok, I won't be able to get access to the customers that would use my service. And so you see, it's very important to be able to really, really pinpoint who your ideal customer is, so that your marketing isn't all over the place. You're not spending so much money marketing to the wrong customers. And you can then be able to streamline your content, streamline the sort of messaging your business has to these women, right? And you'd even be able to, properly understand who they are and the characteristics, their income patterns, how much do they spend as a family, because they're the ones that spend the family income, right? And so you need to be able to say, and what are their spending patterns? Do they buy on a weekly basis? Do they buy on a daily basis? Do they buy on a monthly basis? So that you'll not be able to plan your business according to how they spend, and you'll be able to get a greater share of their spend, right? Or monthly on an annual spend, right? So you need to be able to really, really think about it. Really, really, really think about it. And not, if you're about to start a business, you might not know everything about your customer. Pay attention. Pay careful attention to your company data. What are sales telling you? So that you'll be able to now, better organize your business and target the customers who use you the most, right? And then there's other tools through which you can understand your customer, and this is when you're trying to analyze the pains, right? Because most times as a business, you're solving problems with these customers, right? And you need to be able to understand what they, interview them. And most of the time, most businesses, especially in Nigeria, they start on the hope, But even before launching a business, you're supposed to interview potential customers, understand what they feel, understand what they say, understand how they conduct themselves in their business, if it's a business customer, and understand, the insights that come from what they tell you, how they feel, if they're pissed off, they're upset, if they're happy, what makes them excited, so that you'll be able to now build products or build services or sell them services that address those pain points successfully in a way that will delight them. And so, because the only way that you can get a customer, and even more importantly, retain that customer over a long time, is when you completely understand them and you're able to address their problems. I really hope that this short video really enables you to understand and to do more in-depth research about who your customers would most likely be, right? And how you're able to address their needs and their requirements. I really thank you for attending this episode, and if you have anything to share, please go to the comment section below and tell us exactly any questions that you might have, or any thoughts that you might want to be able to share with us. But I'm really excited that you took your time out to be able to spend time and learn about who your customers are. And I hope that you keep going on with us, keep watching our videos, and business successfully. Thank you and have a great day.